a great opportunity for us because, of course, we're talking about the project all the time with you on Discord, on the general channel, on the founder channel for those of you who are among our community of founders. But the vision, of course, always matures over time. One day, maybe we'll show you the first decks that we worked on when we started pitching at the end of 2017. I think the core idea was there, but obviously the messaging was very different. And today, I'm really taking advantage of, because I take no credit for what I'm going to show you. All of this was put together by Mark Albinet, our Chief Creative Officer, who's a fantastic creator. He's been working on some of the most games out there, Assassin's Creed Unity, Dying Light 2, and so he's the one who's been really, I would say, refining this creative vision that we started to put together a few years ago. But Mark is also extremely busy right now, so I'll take the responsibility to deliver this with you. Divide and conquer. We have to we split, and the truth is, I kind of enjoy that, and I enjoy hanging out with you more and more. So again, thank you for coming over. So I want to give you this latest like creative vision presentation, but the point, and we have 2 hours booked today, so that we can really take some time to discuss this, but other things, and also really hopefully answer your questions and engage into a conversation. I'm going to try to deliver it to you, and of course, then we turn this into a conversation. A very important thing that you guys might have heard me saying a few times, especially to our founders, to whom I get to interact more frequently, is a very important thing, which is that for us, there's no other way than building this thing together. It's not because, in a very traditional, I would say in a very Web2 way, game as a service, it's important to talk to the community. When we used to operate free-to-play games, that was, I would say, a very important thing, communicating with your community and getting some feedback. It's not because of this. It's not because we have open questions, and for which we are happy to query you to get some input. It's really because for us, this whole thing can't be just our baby. It has to be a collective endeavor that we are building together, and where very often some key decision will have to be discussed all together. We are all stakeholders of this. So that's why we really care about having these open kind of forums to discuss about the things that we're doing, the plans, and the more we go forward, and the more we will involve you in the decision-making process. So please, once we're done with this creative, once I'm done delivering you the presentation, feel free to jump in, drop your questions. If you're uncomfortable just taking the mic, please put them in the chat. Let's make it as easy as possible for you to communicate, ask your question, provide your, share your feedback, your feelings, and we'll discuss that. We're also had the opportunity we have the chance to have a lot of our key team players here. I see Dan, I see Vince, so but I know that many others are here. I see Tim, so please, anything, now is the time, and of course we'll create more opportunities. Also, we'll talk about what's coming next, and I'll tell you a bit more about that. Giving you a little overview of our updated art direction, and also explain you the rationale why we're moving into this direction, and a few bonuses for those of you who will get the energy to stay with us until the end of the meeting. Without further ado, let's get into the vision that we've been developing for Life Beyond over the past few years. Remember that we started working on this project early 2018, so it's been some time now, and we've had a lot of time to think about it. So, what is Life Beyond? People always ask us, so tell us about Life Beyond. And some people think, oh, Life Beyond is a game, Life Beyond is a metaverse. To us, it's actually much bigger than this, and this is also why the project is so exciting. Life Beyond for us is truly a global experience. something that it's a form of alternate fiction, or alternate reality, but that takes the form of a fiction in which or with which we are going to be able to interact through multiple different forms. We have, of course, the MMORPG, which is the most obvious gameplay interaction. But we are building on top of this a series of content and experiences that are going to bring Life Beyond to a stage one day where it will become a very important part of our lives. Why are we doing this? It's because we believe at Delwise as a mission that technology has this fantastic ability to connect people. A lot of us here are MMO natives, and we have had the chance to, in a way, be the first citizens of this digital world. And we have built fantastic friendships. Some people built businesses. Some of us were leading communities. And so we think that now is the time to get into this type of experience where that can really become a true part of our lives. Of course, we don't want to take you away from the physical world. We want to create something that always expands your life and gives you more, enriches it, and gets you without disconnecting you with the physical world. And that's why I see some of you always asking us about the platform that we're focusing on. Life Beyond will be a completely device agnostic experience that you will be able to interact with regardless of the device you have, regardless of where you are, and we are building technologies to support that. But one thing that is important and that you will keep seeing and hearing from us is that the fiction is the cornerstone. So let's dive a little bit into this. So, as you know, the story takes place on the world of Dolos, that actually is a new world that we discover in a time where we need hope, because the planet has been really our life on this planet has been challenged very much. A series of issues we have really experienced during the 21st century. A huge concentration of wealth in the hands of a few corporations, combined with ecological disaster in a world where that is still really dominated by technocracy, and where the opportunities for most people, for the normies, are now limited. And especially as we have entered a little bit in this nightmare that some people have, that the economy is now controlled by artificial intelligence. But in 2081, as we keep traveling and discovering space, we make a very, very interesting discovery. So a little bit earlier, we started officially having a meaningful presence on Mars through a whole program of colonization. But in 2081, we are discovering alien vestiges underground that actually show that there was a previous civilization that was somewhere present here. A year later, after continuing these investigations, suddenly a space gate appears. We obviously start a whole program to investigate and understand what is over there. And here is us arriving on Dolos. What is this planet? This planet seems to be full of opportunity, and especially hosting a technology that we don't really know who built it, but it seems like it's a fantastic opportunity of development for all of us. So one way to summarize before I get into more of the pillars of this experience, Life Beyond is basically out of the Wild West on a new planet. We are in this frontier experience, participating to this journey to establish a new civilization in a land of opportunity. It all starts with the conquest cycle. the world is, of course, very big and can't be um, pioneered at the same time. And so we understand that we are going to go step by step in these different regions, understanding better what's going on, especially because while we thought that the world was completely empty, we realized very quickly that actually there is a form of presence, not through not that we find people living there or aliens, but we find that the kind of remnant of this ancient technology has corrupted the world and is actually aggressively trying to push us away. And so we engage into this conquest cycle, region after region, to secure the world, to be able to establish and settle there, to eventually be able to expand and really thrive in this world. You might have heard of our 3 pillars that we've been communicating very, very often: pioneering, settling, and governing. So I'm going to deep dive a little bit in which one of them. But before, a very important thing is that the fantasy that you guys will engage with is to either be a pioneer, and maybe you will go through actually multiple of these roles, but either you're pioneering, and I will explain what it means, or you're more about now settling and about building, or you are interested in participating into something that is already well established that you want to expand. And what is very important is that we will release all of these regions across multiple years. I don't think we're ready to communicate exactly the pace, but we will soon. Which also means that at any point of time, you will always find some regions that will be in pioneering, some in settling, and some in governing. Now, let me get into more details about what is pioneering, what is settling, what is governing, using a series of keywords. So step 1 with pioneering, the first keyword that I would like to focus on is discover. As players in Life Beyond, you will have the opportunity to explore new areas, meet new creatures, and discover new technologies. You will be able to uncover the mysteries of this world that I introduced a little bit before, and unravel the secrets that have been hidden for, who knows, centuries or millennia. This is for us to figure out. With every step you take, you will discover new possibilities and new horizons through the technology that you will scavenge and learn how to use. The next word is conqueror. In Life Beyond, you're not only discovering new worlds and new areas, but you're also conquering them. Obviously, it's not in an aggressive way. The point is not to come and invade. It's about how you can fight this corruption to make the world more secure. And that will take you through a series of missions and experiences where you will lead groups into battle, have to complete the missions of investigation, of scavenging, resource collection, so that eventually we get really into this secure keyword, where now it's about also starting to protect your people, preparing the world for the next step, which is settling. So I hope you guys enjoyed the series of concept art. Of course, here we're trying to give you a little overview of all the content, all the type of missions that you will experience. So now let's move to settling. So the first word, of course, that we will focus on is settle, which is essential to building the foundation in Life Beyond. So you explore this massive world. Now you have started to secure some of these regions. And as you keep kind of traveling and expand and really you have pioneered in all these new regions, you discover new biomes, and each has a biome with its own unique resource and their own unique challenges. Now it's about establishing your colonies in these new biomes and create a home for your people. So as you settle in these new territories, you will need to be resourceful. You will need to be creative, to be strategic, to build infrastructure, and make sure that you can provide for the needs of your colonies. And this is when develop becomes an important part. And develop, now that you have established your colony, you need to ensure their long-term success. So investing in research and development, discovering new technologies, all of this that will help you build and grow your presence or potentially your empire. So on top of that, of course, you need to start cultivating your people, training them so that they can become experts in various fields, and eventually also creating a workforce that can support all of these growing needs. As you also settle in this new world and you start developing this presence in a meaningful way, you need to establish trade routes to connect with other communities. You will need to negotiate trade agreements, develop partnership with other players or other organizations so that you can ensure really a steady flow of resources and goods. And of course, this is when the whole Web3 presence starts to make a whole lot of sense. All of your assets that you own, that you get to exchange freely in a decentralized way, all of this will come to support that narrative of settling. And an important thing in settling is also about how you want to be, to define yourself. Who do you want to be? You can become an entrepreneur. You can become an expert, or you can also just casually interact with this world and start, I would say, as an employee. And it's a very important thing for us because everybody always asks us, if you're going to need to own an NFT to interact with the experience, and our answer is always the same thing. This is a free-to-play game, and we make sure to design the experience so that any form of participation contributes to the experience in general. Whether you are, heavily chiming in the NFTs and investing in to be able to own assets or to grow operations or businesses, or because you're actively just participating with your time. Regardless of how you do it, you will be a valued member, and we're creating different roles for each one of you to be able to fully enjoy the life beyond experience. I'm not going to get into the detail of this chart, but what is important for you to understand is that the whole economy is built with this model of the supply chain that goes from resource productions to assembling goods. Now, I kind of want to let your mind wander into what it means, but let me give you a few hints. Base building, vehicle crafting, all of these systems are being developed right now within this framework. And I'm sure we're going to have more opportunities in the future to do some deep dives into each one of them. But the point is to really give a lot of opportunity for progression. And so I want to take just a few minutes to talk about this because it's going to be very central in the whole development of your experience in Life Beyond. We have 3 axes of progression: the equipment, the avatar, and the player. When we're talking about equipment, the point is that the more you use your equipment, the more it gains XPs and level up over time. And the more it gets advanced, the more it can complete advanced tasks, which will start to set you as an expert because of the equipment that you have with you. but it's an equipment, so you don't. It's not necessarily attached to your character forever. It's not soul bound, and so you can exchange it, which will give you a lot of opportunities, of course, to potentially monetize the long time investment that you put in this piece of equipment. But also, if one day you want to change, you want to switch from being a farmer to now being a pioneer, or or you want to be a house builder, etc. Well, this is what this freely exchanging opportunity will give you. And to us, it's extremely important because we want to make sure that you have this true ability to try different stories. We don't have a hard class system on purpose so that you define your identity and your role in this society. The second progression axis is your avatar. So here, again, the more you play with your avatar, this time you will get to improve one key stat. Only one, not multiple, only one. And so your avatar, which we think will be potentially one of your most valuable assets, of course, because it's your identity in this world as well, will also carry some value over time because you've been using this avatar over and over again. And the third axis of progression, which is very important for us, and this is probably one of the most challenging things to do, is your own skill, which means that it's not about the stats, it's not about the equipment. This time it's about how skilled you are to execute an action, how skilled you are to make a decision considering a series of factors. So if I take the example of agriculture, it's getting the best yield when you plant a seed will be the combination of a lot of factors. There are not just how efficient are your tools and what stats your character has, your avatar has, but also how good you are at understanding the series of dynamics that actually impact the output of this process. Again, I'm sure this is going to trigger a lot of questions. I don't see the chat, but I can only I can picture that, and we will do much more deep dives also with our system design team, with our game directors Benjamin, with our creative director Mark, so that you guys can really understand better how far we're going. And that would do more justice. I would not do the best justice to them if I start digging into the macro detail. So our summary: pioneering, about exploring; settling, which is about building and developing the economy; and governing, which is really about now expanding. So when we talk about governing, I like to say it's the true metaverse experience. It's now about not so much about survival. It's probably even less about gameplay, but it's about the meta. It's about living together in this world and now truly engaging into this persistent experience where we start building meaningful things to us. So, of course, communication, discussing, building things together are going to be very important. Sharing ideas, collaborating to solve problems, building alliance, negotiating deals, working really together to achieve these common goals. You might know that we don't have PvP. For now, it's on purpose. We'll see if we change our mind in the future, but we want to align everyone today to be building together. The governance will obviously be a key part here, and this will be up to you to define how you want to organize your own community, whether you want to be an individual and casually interacting with multiple ones, or you want to build your small community, or of course you want and introduce a governance system, or of course if you want to build something much bigger, more democratic or autocratic. And something that we are starting to work on right now is to build as well a framework so that you guys can have your own governance, including your own governance token to be able to run this. So we're at the very, very beginning of this type of conversation, but hopefully I'm planting a seed here that can give you some interesting ideas in the future that you can share with us in the coming months as we start to mature on this idea. That's what I wanted to give you as an overview of Life Beyond. Something that when we were trying to back in the day, kind of summarize. We were all the team came up with this idea of the feeling of a game, because it really feels like, it's playful. We are game developers at heart. This is our DNA. This is what we've always been doing in our previous life, and so, but we are obsessed with connecting this opportunity, this type of experience, with the stake of reality. We have been. It's actually something that we have been touching when we were part of these communities earlier, when we were competitive players, when we were part of these very high-level gaming communities. For us, all of this felt like it was absolutely real, and we were committing a lot of time in this thing, that it had a very meaningful impact on our lives. Now, thanks to also the decentralized technologies, this full opportunity will be finally delivered to a world like that. So before we get into the questions, I want to give you a quick overview of what's next, and then we will move on to the Q&A and a conversation. So first thing is a survey on our Discord. Please, we need your input here. Again, this is a really, really valuable tool for us to narrow down our decision to operate better. So last Friday we launched the survey on Discord, and we really need to get more insight. Of course, there are some of you who are actively speaking, and so that helps us very much. But we also need to collect a bit more data on these things so that we can make more educated decision in the very near future. So please join us and participate here. I guess we'll put another announcement on Discord so that you guys can easily find where it is. Important, massive important date for us is the launch on March 15th of the Hub. The Hub is going to be the central point of everything we're doing this year. But I also want to manage expectation. What we're launching on March is the absolutely first version. Some people would say, push something with way more content, with more experience. This is not our DNA. For those of you who have been with us maybe since 2019, we have always loved what we call doing open development. Open development means we open the kitchen and we show you guys what we're doing, and we want to keep iterating, taking feedback. The truth is we actually kind of stopped doing this at some point in 2022, and we had this big alpha, and then we stopped because it made sense at some point to also regroup a little bit and stabilize a bunch of stuff. Development is always sometimes a chaotic process, especially when you're a startup, and sometimes you do a lot of go fast and break things. We needed to consolidate and clean up a lot of the technical debt, but now we're ready to go back in this super iterative mode. So March 15th, we'll launch the Hub, a persistent 24/7 module where you guys can connect and start being together with, at first, minimal interaction. It's really like a social space, but onto which we're going to keep expanding and adding more experiences. The type of experiences that we're going to bring are going to take different nature. We'll have things that are very prototypey, but that are very important for us to start collecting feedback about the system, getting you to understand also better what type of role you can have in the future of Life Beyond. And some more that I would say maybe more visual, more to give you an idea of the target that we're aiming at. And so you will have a good series of content. So I can tell you, you're going to be very busy this year, starting March 15th. And I want to give a big shout out to the team for having put this together, because it's even doing this, considering all of the work in the back end, because I know some of you were very impressed, for instance, during our alpha, where we hosted almost 20,000 players across during all the alpha, and with some peaks, where we had over like over thousands. Well, you see, we were able to do that, and this is also the point of building this hub, to be able to start testing, collecting metrics on our scale, etc. And so you'll see, so it's a V1. There's already a lot of development on this hub that will come, and really come check out frequently, at least I would say at minimum every month, if not every 2 weeks. Check out what's going on, what's coming, and what's new. We always already shared our roadmap. You might have seen it on Twitter, on Discord. This is our 2023 roadmap. We'll have a series of very interesting modules that will come and that will get you a flavor of the experience, but also will make you able to start really entering into the lore and into your own private story in this world. So we really hope that this was going to give you the opportunity to start organizing your own community. And we want to be very supportive of that in that regard. So if you guys think of tools, ways from us to help you getting more organized, collaborate more as groups of communities, we'll be super happy to help. And so please reach out to us. We really want to be here to make this and to really help this blooming, because we strongly believe that Live Beyond will need, of course, individuals to participate to the world, but we also think that it's very important that we start having player organizations who are involved into building the Live Beyond economy. We actually have a series of partnerships that we'll be able to announce in the next few weeks, I think, that will already show that we're going in this direction. Now, I'd like to talk to you about the new artistic direction. You will see that we are going away from the existing direction that was very cartoony, so that some of you qualified sometime of looking a bit like Fortnite. And I'm going to be very honest with you. The reason is because now we can afford it, and that was always our goal, to get into a higher production value, but also to get into a lore that was a bit more mature. But our main issue back then, before we got acquired by Animoca brands, was just that we also were unable to pull out, this type, to put this type of investment, which is not the problem anymore. Now we can finally do this, and so we can start upgrading. And here is a kind of preview of where we are right now on the left with our existing character and where we're going. And I hope you see well on the screen, but if I can, I was trying to zoom, but oh, did I lose? Oh, I forgot something. I'll get back to this after. And I wanted to show you the rendering here. You'll see much higher production value, much more photorealism. So we're bringing this to you, hopefully in the next few months, and we're going to start rolling out this direction everywhere. So the hub, of course, but also the characters and every other content that we'll push. I realized that my deck was skipped a little bit too fast. Another very important date that we already mentioned in some of our conversations to you, March 17th, is the end of the public minting, completed the minting of our Founders Key and of our Agent Zero jacket. Vince, you want to jump in and say a few words about this?
Sure, absolutely. So we discussed this with our fans group. last week, I think it was, about how to ensure to protect the value of our early founders and founders key holder and Agent Zero jacket holders in particular. So we decided that the best route to go was to stop the minting of those two items on March 15th, to put the unminted supply into the treasury for the future DAO to get. And because we always think that you are worthy of being even more rewarded from your early adoption, your early belief, your engagement with this, we've decided that it was time for the founders key holder to get a little extra. And so we're going to make it official. It is official. All founders key holder will be granted a free small land this year. So you're going to get a prime access to the first settling region when time comes this year. So it's gonna be for you. You will be able to dispose of it the way you see fit. Obviously, you've heard from Benjamin a little bit of the settling aspect and the land aspect, but we're going to have a dedicated presentation of the land systems and how it works and what's the narrative behind it in a few weeks. So you will be also able to understand how valuable it is for you to get even a small land at this stage. I think that's covered. Yeah. So we're going to make a proper announcement of all this on all the social media. We're going to update the website, so you will see the countdown coming in. And we hope that you guys understand this move, understand that for us it's the best way to protect the value of these assets, of your engagement with this, while continuing to provide, future value in Life Beyond.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So I hope you got the message, but I guess we'll make an announcement, but founder key holders, small land coming for you. So very, very excited about this. Also very excited to get into this part of the development of Life Beyond in the next few months. We've been really working thoroughly on this, stabilizing a lot of the questions. I think it's a little bit our difference also, when we were reading all of these white papers back then and thought about doing the same, but then we started to feel a little bit uncomfortable making too big commitments on paper without having gone through a proper pre-production. Because this is what we can tell you from our experience developing games like Assassin's Creed, The Division. The things that we put on paper very rarely end up as is in the games, just because of a series of events, because of technology challenges, sometimes because it just doesn't work. It's just not fun. And so we're already past the prototyping stage on the lands. We are completing the pre-production, and then we'll be able to display to tell you way more about this. But I think we already feel pretty confident about what we have right now. So looking forward to sharing more with you. So we prepared a quick video because, of course, our team is really hard at work to show you a series of assets that we are currently working on that are going to support this new art direction. So higher production value, higher fidelity, and this will start to populate the world of Life Beyond soon. And again, we are going to keep pushing stuff month after month. And you'll see different type of modules, different type of gameplay, different types of different parts of the narration that we'll be able to share. I think I covered it all for today, what I wanted to share with you. Now, very much looking forward to answer your questions, start the conversation, basically. And I think we still have plenty of time, right? Like an hour for that.
We do have a little bit over an hour discuss
Perfect.
with you guys. There is
All right.
one thing that we didn't mention.
Tell me, I forgot something.
Yeah. Please
Shit.
go back to the artistic direction with the good-looking guy, or at least one good-looking guy and one this good-looking guy. As you can see, you know, the artistic direction is changing, and there is also one very important component that we want to focus on this
Ooh,
year.
yeah. How did I miss that? Sorry.
Is the notion of avatars and self-representation in the game. So we are hard at work on 2 very limited avatar collection for you. One will be dedicated specifically to founders. One will be dedicated for or targeting a different audience. So it's not time for you to see what's in the oven. It's a little bit early, but it's going to be super excited, super exclusive collections to provide you with the best possible avatars out there, with still a lot of customization option. So more on this soon, not for today, but since we are here disclosing a little bit the new details about the roadmap, I think Ben and I and the team, we wanted to share that news with you, so you get ready, you hold on to your founder's key, and I hope you will get as excited as we are in writing the next chapter of this game.
And thank you, Vince, for always having my back.
No,
Vince and I go way back, guys. You know, we used to work together at Ubisoft. I started to fantasize about this project. I mean, it's actually a lot of us who used to work together over there. But
it's over 10 years, man. Now,
yeah, over 10 years. So when I was saying stupid thing, I always had Vince to help me. So all right, thank you for that. Tell me, okay, I saw a bunch of questions. I kind of need an MC here within our team to just help organizing a little bit. We should answer the question maybe first.
If you'd like, I can read you some of the question I saw in the chat. I think the first one would be, we announced a few months ago different stages of Open Alpha 1, Open Alpha 2, and there are a lot of questions about it.
So, sorry, what's the question about the Open Alpha?
The question is there going to be a second Open Alpha?
Okay.
What's the place of the hub about that?
So we're going away from this concept of kind of alpha season 1, 2, 3, etc., because we now want to enter more into this kind of live service mindset, rather than, you know, pushing then holding then pushing then holding. The point was to kind of and maybe I should go back to the roadmap here. Damn it! All right, I'm going to stop touching. So we start with a persistent hub, and which is called the hub, but it really means what it is. It is going to be persistent 24/7. We're not going to turn it off. If it's off, it means we have a technical issue. All right, it's not because we will decommission it. It's because we're really going to run it 24/7. And the hub is a social hub where it will that will host all of you, but it's also the hub figuratively to connect it to other experiences. So combat training, building simulation, we have the economics simulator, agriculture, all of these will be experienced through the hub. So rather than having seasons, we're going to keep pushing things. What is the pace that we're comfortable sharing at this stage, Vince?
I think right now, without making any hardline promise, is that we're looking at something around once a month big update. That's the pace at which we are targeting to be. Obviously, we're still early in development. A lot of things can happen, so please, don't hold your breath if on the 31st of a month the big update hasn't come. It's a tentative, and this is what we're targeting to ship. But obviously we want to do it. We want to do it, throughout the year, content after content. But not only doing the content, actually, we also want to make sure that we improve what exists. It's not about just delivering a set of content and then running to the next thing. It's going to be improved. It's going to be improved with you. It's going to be part of the discussion that we have. It's going to be part of the, maybe sometimes involving voting mechanics if we disagree within the community of what's next to do. So it's really a live promise, a live operation promise.
So the point is really we keep pushing. Sometimes we're it's also that this is really the process to get to the most interesting experience ever. So what we're pushing is not throwaway stuff, but we are building. So when we will start pushing the first module about agriculture, it will be probably quite basic, but we'll come with a series of features that will be a foundation for what we're bringing after and what we aim to bring in the end, by the end. But it's also a way for you to start playing and providing feedback to us so that we can fine-tune what we're doing. Expand some time, completely revisit, hopefully not too often, and hopefully we'll our years of experience will help us shooting not too far from the bullseye from the get-go. But again, really the point is about trying to be just improve the final experience together through this. So monthly basis, this is our kind of the pace that we want to reach. But we're AAA developers, and you know what it is with this type of development. Sometimes a few things can happen, and the release date gets challenged. But this is kind of the discipline that we want to keep. Maybe yeah, you can, but maybe I would like to add one or other thing is that, again, March 15th is just the persistent hub. It's none of the other modules. So it's basically you will be in the spaceship that is taking you from Earth to Dolos. And this is, at this point, and I want to be very comfortable with it, all of you, it's a 3D chat room, but that will expand rapidly into something much more meaningful. But we wanted to have a starting point. This was very important. And this is also another way to kind of, walking the walk about what we're saying, rather than keeping pushing and pushing and pushing to have more content. We start with this, and then we keep expanding. Sorry, Diane, go ahead.
Yeah, don't worry. I just wanted to add, because I read the chats, we record this video and we will definitely edit it with subtitles for the Chinese community. You are heard, you're important to us. That's also why we hired Katie, who is in the chats, to be able to really have a connection with you all.
I mean, it's first because she's awesome, and also because she could help us there.
I saw a question, maybe more for Vincent. Sure. When will be the token release?
Well, the token release is still a few months away. I think for us it's important to do it right rather than to do it fast. We've seen so many projects, rushing into the tokens without a proper economic layer in their product, or without thought through this very important element in the product design, that we want to do it right. We are very confident in our design, and I think that's going to be something that you can always ping Emilio in Discord about. Is so excited about what's coming with this, and we're probably going to have a session dedicated for him to present the tokenomic and game economic systems. And on the side of this, we are working with the best in class technical members and also partners to prepare for the launch of the token. I don't want to give any date right now, because honestly, there is so much at stake that we want to do it right. But we are hard at work on it, and Animoca is a superb partner in that endeavor.
I saw a lot of questions about the hub.
Yes.
Will the hub be on Unreal 5?
Yes.
Everything.
So let's be clear. Yes, technologically, we're now developing 100% of our content using Unreal 5.1. When it comes to the art direction that you've seen today, it's not yet implemented in the game. It's currently being developed. This is going to be part of one of the updates. And so what you're going to see on March 15th is still with the old artistic direction, with the old assets that are being reworked right now.
Will we be able to level up in the hub?
Not at first. Not on March 15th.
Will we be able to wear our Agent Zero jackets in the hub?
So no on March 15th, but very soon after.
Okay, I have someone asking if they can share all of those informations with their communities.
Absolutely. Nothing here is secret. You just got the prime access to it.
I think you have more, Dan.
I only have a few more. Will there be specific missions for the holders of different NFTs, like a token-gated prototype
So
experience?
yes, we are working on token-gated content for specific holders, and obviously we always take care of lovely founders first.
But be careful, not on March 15th, because I think that all of these questions were related from Crypto SL. Were related to March 15th. Really, March 15th, the hub is the place where you can meet, chat, but there won't be much more interaction at this point. It's coming right after. So I see the questions about farming, building, not at this point. With the ape avatar is a very good question as well, because we of course we went through all the process to do it with Frank, but my board ape, but it's more, but that was like running through all the technical pipeline. Now, of course, we need to go into the full development to be able to onboard all of the ape community, building all the traits, and this is also something where we would love to get some support from the community if some people want to participate in this thing. Of course, still, we have to pick our battles. There are so many things to work on at the moment, and we have a fairly big team, but it's only 100 people, and it needs to grow, and it will grow. But it's also something where really we can collaborate and enjoy more support. So if you guys are interested in this type of opportunity, reach out to us, and we can also we'll obviously start using the token allocations for this to create the proper incentives. That's why working on the tokenomics is becoming an important thing for all of us to be able to also start leveraging the ecosystem in really aligning interest and starting to really kind of reward properly the network effect.
I see we have someone raising its hand.
Oh yeah, sorry, I missed it.
Let's get you. Okay, you can go, and fan if you're around.
Okay, I'm sorry, I just have a quick question. How much funding does the project have?
So Delwise is a fully controlled subsidiary of Animoca Brands now. So we don't really run with funding. I mean, we're basically Animoca Brands. So I think Animoca raised like I don't know, $300 million total over the past 18 months. So that kind of answers your question.
And the last question I saw in the chat that hasn't been answered yet is about the governing part and asking what's the place of the DAOs in it. Will be Will there be token-gated votes? How do we envision the learning part?
Vince, you have a lot of stuff going on like that.
Yes. So yes, definitely we're looking at DAOs and how to build around DAOs the proper incentives for governing.
I think we can start talking about the foundation because the process.
Yeah. So we have started the process of establishing a foundation. So the foundation is going to be this independent, autonomous organization that will run our tokens and that will initiate the, let's say, original Life Beyond DAO for us. And so when it comes to how we're going to properly execute the voting system, what are the different voting mechanisms that we're going to implement, I think the idea is to put that to the first vote. Really to not establish the rules too early ourselves, while claiming that we want to build with our co-founders. And co-founders, by co-founders I mean token holders. So everything is possible. It can be share of voice based on token holded in the wallet. It can be a ratio. It can be a combination of things. It can be a per subject kind of condition. Like, for instance, if you are a landowner and you own a land, you might have more voting power than a token, a simple token holder in land, land related proposal. So everything is in the build, is currently being built. And obviously this is something that is extremely important for us. So if you are part of an existing organization and you want to take part of this, feel free to reach out. This is really the moment to engage with us, as we are conducting small group of brainstorm and feedback and co-building exercise to take the right decision.
I see a lot of other questions that are very much more like game related. So I think it would be great to engage with this as well, because this is what we do first. So I saw, hold on, I need to go back. Shit, I lost it. How big of a role will player guilds play in the Life Beyond game loop? How engaged will DAOs will be with them moving forward? For clarity, player guilds, not play to earn guilds. I find it interesting because to me, I mean, if I look at the core, the difference might not be that massive, other than, of course, because the assets that you own and you start, you earn in the game can eventually be turned into a form of value, because we're in a decentralized economy. That gives opportunity for organization to just decide to really run as corporate, and that's what play to earn guilds are doing. But at the core, guilds are extremely important because they are kind of entertaining the experience, the life in Life Beyond. But they can take so many different natures. We can have like esport teams, for instance, or like highly competitive guilds that are very much focused on pioneering and that love the challenge, that is extremely skilled, like a very combat skill based, where they will have to go in the very wild areas to go and complete missions, or just earn, like just go out there and explore to collect these very, very valuable resources, and so that they can eventually craft the more advanced equipment and stuff like that. Some other guilds can be more like we have seen in EVE Online. There are more like corporations or alliances that are focusing on different type of verticals. It can be farming, that can be manufacturing, mining. We can see all of these different play roles. Well, think of so many challenges, give so many opportunities for people to gather and work together as a group with a purpose. But that's totally up to you guys. build this purpose, to define it. And I go back again to you also telling us what type of tools you need to be able to, so that we can foster the development of these organizations. So tell us, and we'll be super happy to. We're expanding also our web and mobile team right now. We just welcomed our new head of web and mobile at Delaware today, or yesterday. So just started in the company, and he's going to really build up the expertise here so that we can really expand the tooling that we can provide.
And just because I had this discussion with the guild recently, I think it's worth mentioning that the Darewise authored content is going to be scarce in the game. Actually, the content is going to be made by you, by the players, by the guild. So I think what we are building is more a set of systems that allows you to create the content, to define who you are. So as a guild, you can say, oh, we want to be the pioneering guild. We want to be the ones that everybody is looking at when a new region opens up, and that because we have the best experts, the best equipment, et cetera, et cetera. We want to be able the ones that people call when they wanted to defend their lands from an attack, an upcoming attack of the AIs. I think that's definitely what we want to see now, is to see what type of organization is out there, what positioning you anticipate from the knowledge of what Life Beyond is, you want to be, and help you build the tool, but either in the game or outside of both, to take upon that role.
Yeah, totally. I saw I saw a question about bots. Vince, you're kind of the expert on this thing.
Bots?
There's a monster asked this question. Security topic regarding bots and fraudulent activities need to be very, very serious. Implemented. I don't know if you see it.
I don't see it, but regarding bots, definitely this is a very hot topic. So, and I see Axie Rabbit. I've seen your question about Animoca, as we get to it in a minute. So regarding bots and security. So
let me paste the question here.
Okay, excellent. Have a decent overview and to keep safe from the start. It was a disaster from this point of view. Yeah. So this is exactly why we're running alphas, first and foremost, because it's to identify those exploits, is to identify those things that we need to put in place further. So our CTO is super big on security. I mean, is a dictator when it comes to security, and definitely security is not just for our own Darewise.
I think the complaint here is also very much related to during the alpha we had people idling and going into missions, and so of course, again, I get your feedback, and for us it's also we know what we have to implement, but sometimes we just prioritize stuff because unfortunately we can't be on every front. But that was a very interesting learning.
Exactly.
That how it was challenging the experience, and so of course it's becoming a much higher priority, and that's really, like Vincent said, the point of doing these alphas.
It's exactly
all these tests.
All these tests, but developing technology or implementing existing solution to counter this is also costly and requires a lot of work. So as Ben said, it's a question of priority. For the alpha, it was obviously not a priority because we had so many other things to tackle, but we have that identify that, and further down the line, definitely, especially when economic element will come into play, we'll pay a big attention to this. Axie Rabbit, question about Animoca.
I think I could take this one.
Yeah. Do you know the reason why Animoca bought Darewise and what they will provide for Life Beyond?
Yeah, we do. So when we were So this happened as we were raising our Series A, and we were in a pretty comfortable place. But I think what Animoca and especially Yatsu saw in Life Beyond was the potentially the leading product or service in this second wave of metaverses. So and the important thing here was finally a content that can onboard not only the Web3 enthusiasts anymore, but the general gaming population. If you go back to free-to-play, for instance, free-to-play kind of experienced a similar cycle where at first people were, questioning the model. People were also, I would say, dismissing this type of product because they were pretty low quality. At least that was the perception. And it took Clash of Clans on mobile, it took League of Legends on PC for people to massively engage into these free-to-play games. And I know today for sure Animoca sees Life Beyond as one of the flagship here to do that, to help onboarding the players for the right reasons, which are to play, to build, and not just to focus on the short win financial gain that you can get from this type of experiences. So that's of course very much related to our vision from the get-go. We had always in mind this opportunity to create a very high quality gaming experience, MMORPG, but that would be supported, or that would kind of address the drawbacks that we had all experienced in this previous generation of MMOs, where we're like, why can't we do this? Why can't I sell my assets? Why can't I have more control over my own content so that it gives me also more incentives to innovate, to create more stuff, to participate into the development of this thing? Me, who is so actively engaging into this world and participating to the value of this community. So I think it was really this approach. And so what do they bring? Well, of course, funding, and substantial funding, as you can imagine, for a project like this, but also a fantastic level of expertise when it comes to tokenomics, when it comes to marketing and publishing, when it comes to community building, and Animoca has a tremendous access, but also technology. So you might have seen, for instance, Emilio is now a member of the Animoca Brands team, but also working like 90% of his time on Life Beyond. But he was originally the Dalwise employee, and he's now an Animoca brand employee. Even though he's still, I think he is still, of course, a member of our team. So yeah, we have a very, very strong relationship. And if you guys, so I'm going to be traveling a lot, and very often also a lot with Yat, the founder of Animoca Brands. So, and we'll try to host events in all of these major locations where there will be like some Web3 or gaming events. So hopefully we'll get to meet there and to have a quick chat and a drink.
I saw crypto. You had crypto SL. Sorry, you had another batch of questions there. Unless Diane, you see anything else we should answer.
Yeah, I also saw. Hold on. Would be there were other questions before, just so we can. Question on creating longevity of the game. If I get, we can farm and create communities in the game, but what is next? What is the purpose of building these communities? We'll be farming to fight a big raid boss. I'm trying to find out any thoughts on how you will keep players busy. I think that the meta in this world is more similar to a game like EVE Online, for instance, where it's basically an economy and social builder, but that takes place in a persistent world through your character. So it's a little bit of a combination of this type of big dynamic that you get in a game like EVE Online, but where you can have different types of individual experience. You can be about, like, for instance, if you were into combat, you can just engage in progress there. But what is interesting is that the output of whatever action you take that is related to a combat action will fuel as an input for something else in this whole economy, in this whole big loop. So you might go in this extremely dangerous place where only extremely high level players can go, because it requires a lot of like very advanced equipment, an advanced avatar, and a high level of skill. But the reward that you get, whether it's like something that you loot to simplify, this thing might be an item or resource that is actually necessary for this individual or this community or this corporation that builds very advanced vehicles and that needs this power source, for instance. So we're kind of connecting different, like all of these player stories in this big economic and social loop. Hope it makes sense. But of course, you guys will get to understand more and more as we start pushing these gameplays. Would be unlocking of new regions be akin to MMO expansion releases? And if so, would this involve unlocking major new mechanics that would effectively transform the world as a whole? For instance, the discovery of new elements, minerals, etc., would enable new tech. It's a good question for you, Vince, because I know you guys have been working on this.
Yeah, I think the simple question is yes. to make it very simple.
The simple answer, you mean?
The simple answer is yes. Sorry, the simple answer is yes. But the reality is a little bit more complex, because obviously we don't want to automatically shift the focus 100% to the newest region released. So I think the idea is to find the right balance where each region will have its own specificity and all set of resources. You put it as elements, mineral, even some very specific kind of landmarks that enables you to actually expand your possibility. And so if with each of these regions will be so vast, in fact, that it's going to be probably difficult for a single player to actually collect the resources from all of those regions. That's where building guilds, building corporations, building association or community is going to be fundamental. And that's also the reason why we are convinced by the power of players to players interaction and trading. And that's the whole philosophy of Life Beyond revolves around a player-driven economy, and the player-driven economy is led by the player-to-player trading and almost, I would say, bounty system, where I can put up a bounty or a request out there for players to provide me with what I need.
And I think what is important here is that the problem with traditional MMOs and this kind of vertical progression, where you expand the world and then now you have more advanced equipment and technology, is that it all constantly creates what we call in design power creeping.
Yeah.
So it's like you have this item that you worked so hard to get, and now new expansion, new stuff, and it's worth shit. This is really frustrating when you've been working hard to build something. So rather than having purely a vertical progression, we want to have something that is also very horizontal. So kind of expanding the possibilities rather than upgrading constantly. And that, I think, will lead to a much healthier also in-game economy, because then you're less about always chasing the next big thing and more about enjoying and sometimes just specializing in something. Because if you guys have played MMOs, you might remember that you also are used to spend a lot of time in these game worlds not playing. socializing, interacting with your guild, with your friends. This is also part of the MMO experience. So you could, like invest on yourself, invest on something, and then specialize in this, and then be part of this community without constantly being chasing, the next big thing, etc. I saw a couple of other questions. I mean, we still have 40 minutes, right?
Yeah, we do.
Love it.
Maybe the next question could be, will there be NPCs that can buy and sell items?
Hold on, let's if you don't mind, I'm trying to take the questions in order. Otherwise, it's hard to keep track. So unless I missed this one, but I saw one from Crypto SL at that would, yeah. So would like to give, okay, sorry. What sort of brand do you see advertised or built inside Dolos? I'm also with a project that has partnered with Honda France and Ties R Us, and want to know if there are similar plans for Live Beyond. Oh my God. So this is for Vince, but Team maybe is here. At least he was here.
I don't know if he's here. I know he's on the other side of the world.
I'm here, but I don't think my connection is stable enough. So
it's okay. It's okay. We'll cover it. Go ahead, Vince.
So yes, we love to see brands advertise, or not really advertise, I will say build inside Live Beyond. The reality is that we've always been very, very adamant on the principle of saying, when you build a society, when you build a city, when you build a life, it always comes with brands. It always comes with shops. It always comes with branded activities, like in our real life. And we can, as developers, decide to go two ways. Either we do it, let's say, the fairly traditional way for game developers. We invent brands that very much are lookalikes from existing brands, or we just open the door for all those brands and we create a safe space for them to expand whatever they want to do, whether it's create, awareness about their brands, whether it's to advertise a product or, mimic their services from physical to digital. And that's the path we've decided to go. Recently, we've been receiving so many interesting calls and being introduced to so many different brands that actually are looking for a project just like Live Beyond, from, let's say, obviously an artistic direction and kind of, let's say, high fidelity, even though it's not hyper realistic, but let's say higher fidelity than what exists on the market, but also with a game that is less about confrontational action and more about social interaction. And so, yes, we will see brands coming in. We already have signed a partnership with Swell London. So that's one, and many more to come. I can tell you the NFT Paris week was extremely busy for Benjamin, myself, and a few other members of the team. I was to give you a few names, I don't know if it's going to materialize in anything, but I was with L'Oreal in France. We had a very interesting discussion with Adidas, with Farfetch. We just had a call previous to this with UNXD on the fashion end, and so many more. I mean, we had calls with team and the Porsche team and the Lamborghini team. So this is just the starting point for us. So yes, you can expect brands in Live Beyond, and not just only brands, if I may. I think there are also a lot of opportunities for us out there with existing Web3 projects and gaming projects as well.
I think what is also important is that we're building a world, okay, and the world can't be just a level with some creatures. The world is also, all of these stakeholders, all of these agents that contributes to the lore, to the fiction. So, if you guys play GTA, when you walk out there, you see a coffee shop, you see clothing brands, you see pop stars, all of these things contribute to make it a believable world. And that's always been our take, to really, really leverage the brands from the physical world to bring them into our digital one, so that they would contribute to this massive content creation, and rather than authoring everything from scratch for us. It's also a way for us to kind of double down in this promise of bridging these different layers of our lives between the physical world and the digital one. So we want to create, connections between, so that we can really easily navigate between these different layers, rather than creating like a massive rupture. So hopefully by doing this, it's going to also help us, really being always 1 foot here, 1 foot there, and interacting nonstop with these different worlds, with these different realities.
But one thing I would just add is, because I don't want to, freak our lovely gamers away, is that every time we are considering a brand or partners to be integrated with Live Beyond, or to build something in Live Beyond, we don't want to break the immersion, and we don't want to break the narrative layer that we're building. That's extremely important for us, which means that every time we're considering a brand for partners, we are coming with 2 strong requirements. One is that we don't want to compromise on the look and feel within the game. And 2, we don't want to compromise with the narrative layer of everything we do, which means that when a brand comes in, we are building with them a reason for them to exist in the Live Beyond world.
We had this other question: would there be NPCs that can buy, sell items, or will it fully be player driven? I mean, I don't know if we can make crazy statement, but there is one that we can make already, which is, I mean, of course, as we want to have NPCs because they contribute to populating the world, but we want to do it in a very interesting way, and we start to explore the options that we can have using, AI and procedure and how do we call it? Generative AI to contribute to the experience. This will also be combined to the arrival very soon, I think in a month now, of our new narrative director joining us from Ubisoft, who is also going to start exploring very much this avenue and how we can connect this thing to really make it it's very interactive and interesting, and not just basic like we've all experienced in the previous MMOs. When will be the new design characters available? That's a good question. Do we have it? No, I don't think we.
Maybe you can put the slide with the character again.
Yes.
When is it coming? Man, I hope I know. I wish I know. This is an ongoing work.
But we can say by the summer.
Yes, this is definitely the target to have this by the summer.
So it's not next year, like it's coming, but it's a lot of work. Can you detail a bit on archaeology?
Very high level. Archeology will be about finding and decrypting,
solving puzzles
to unlock new possibilities and new information about this world.
So actually, we're going to start. We're of course, like the point of you, some of you being founders, is also we appreciate your engagement. We want to reward it, but it's also like you guys are the most committed players today, because we have a high level of interaction. And most committed players is not maybe the right way to qualify it, but you kind of stated your engagement, I would say. And so we are going to share with I think with our founders in the future conversation that we'll have some we need to start prioritizing the roadmap, and we're going to be sharing more details about the future modules, and kind of put to vote some of them or all of them actually to start seeing also how we can prioritize things, because right now we have a wide range of options, and we want to know where we put the resources first. So I know that there's a quite interesting explanation of on archaeology that will be given to you for that. Hopefully, we'll be able to share that in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I think.
Yes.
I assume being part of Animoca brand supports interoperability aspect for Live Beyond NFTs, the use of Live Beyond projects. Are there any Animoca brand project that Live Beyond has strong connection with? Yes, absolutely. I mean, we're pretty well connected to I would say, to all of the major projects, but of course, some, fit better because of our DNA and the game DNA. So Phantom Galaxy is of course one that I think of all the time. We know the team very well at Blowfish, love what they were doing. It just fits well, and we're gonna find ways to connect the experiences. Sandbox, because originally the reason why we are part of Animoca today is because Sébastien Bourget, the co-founder of Sandbox, happened to be an investor in Delwise in Live Beyond, and one day introduced us to Animoca and really help us getting here. So we of course naturally have a very strong connection with Sandbox. Other projects that you guys want to, we're very close to Forge as well, and I really invite you guys to check out the Tastemaker collection that is going out right now. We have a very strong relationship with Olivex, the guys behind the Dustland project. Who am I forgetting?
Well, Cool Cats is also part of the family somehow. What else do we have? Who else? Rev. We have connection with the Rev team
and Torquay
and Torquay, obviously. So yeah, I think and our friends in French, Eden Games.
Who are now part of the Rev ecosystem, building some. So if you guys play the Taste Drive Unlimited, they are the mastermind behind this game, and so they have some really cool stuff coming up with in the whole Rev ecosystem. Did I miss something? Hold on. Do you have a timeline of the next NFTs that will be dropped or open to mint for free or with crypto? What utility will have this year in the hub? What can we say at this stage?
Timeline for next NFT, I don't think we have one yet. We're working on it. I think the thing was to focus on the hub, the stop of the existing collections, trying to make sure this is going sound. The next drop are probably going to be around avatars. Since we disclosed avatars, I think it's going to be probably the next one in line. Yes, there's going to be a combination of free claim mint and crypto purchased mint. Utility this year in the hub. Well, I think we covered a lot of this, so I'm not sure I understand the question, but the idea is obviously to make sure that over the course of the next releases of the hub, yes, definitely the NFTs will come into play. We'll have a physical representation in the game. So, the jacket will be one, the avatar will be one, and everything else will follow.
I'm just getting someone is asking about the Tastemaker. Oh, where is it? I'm trying to find found the Tastemaker. It's a really great Web3 educational platform built by Forge.
Yes, definitely Monster. We're gonna
here.
work on a pre-announce.
But I looks like we still need to clarify on the 17th of March date, because I read Crypto SL saying, but we should be able to buy AZG Agent Zero jacket from the website. Isn't it even after the 17th? No. Starting on the 17th, the jacket and the founder key will not be available anymore for mint. The rest of the supply available will be put in the treasury of the future DAO. So the only way to get your hand on these NFTs will be on the secondary market. Have you thought about any use cases for the Medal of Courage and Medal of Honor?
Yes, this is part of the NFT that we want to reveal utility this year, so it will come.
Well, that was a lot of good stuff. Hopefully that we shared with all of you guys. Happy to take any other question as we still have a bit more time. Otherwise, we're going to get back to work. Can you share a bit more about NFT Paris event? Oh yeah, NFT LA and GDC event Live Beyond is expected to attend. Will there be Live Beyond's demo on this events, and what sort of other things will be on these events? So, whoa. So NFT Paris. So what is important is these events are very important, but they're not necessarily always on the show floor or on the main floor. What's important is that it's a big gathering of the community. And what I can tell you is that we gathered an insane community during our side event. That was a very small, kind of very private side event on purpose, with people that you might know of, founder of Artifact, founder of MoonPay, founder of. I'm going to need your help, guys, because I'm a little bit burnt after a year and a half speaking.
The founder of Blockpatch, of DAO, Singularity DAO. Who else? Of Beautiful Destination was there. BNV was there. Adidas was there.
Illuvium,
Cometh. Who else did we have?
Ledger.
We had Ledger there.
So only top execs, because we're basically building partnership with all of these guys, and so that was also a way for us to keep strengthening the relationship. It's not because we try to be snobbish and limit, the opportunity for everyone, but we're at this point where it's very important for us to build the core, of this kind of first layer of ecosystem with you guys, of course, and with all of these builders. We know that this is also going to benefit to each one of you, and so we are really bonding with all of these individuals who are leaders and decision makers in these organizations. So these events are very important for us, especially in this regard. But also, they are important to connect more with the local community, and we haven't done this, and I really want us to do it much more. So I'm going to be at NFT LA. Vincent will also be for a day, I think, but then he's going to GDC. While I'm going to be staying at NFT LA, I think I'm speaking at the conference. I was speaking at NFT Paris at the Blockchain Gaming Alliance event the day before. So we're going to try to, that's also why we need to have a better understanding of who is where. And so we can also try to organize some events locally, IRL, as all of the team is always traveling now. So if some of you guys are in LA, some of you guys are in San Francisco, let us know. We'll definitely catch up.
That's an improvement on the community side. We need to communicate a lot more about where you're going on an event, where, when, to allow everyone to connect with you when you're here.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we're it's important because we also there are so many events that we're always trying to figure out where to go, because it's sometimes there are like three, like for instance, the same week is NFT LA, Paris Blockchain Week, and GDC. And so that same week, I am speaking at Paris Blockchain Week, flying to NFT LA, and then catching up with Vincent at GDC. So it's a little bit overwhelming, but that's why we have to figure out, what are the best events. So also your input really helps us here. When you guys are asking us about this event, and then now we know that there are some interest. So thank you for this. And for sure, I see that some of you are in LA, so hopefully we're gonna manage to schedule something. Besides the in-game token, will there be other type of currencies? So I don't want to spoil too much here because we have a very unique, and it's really awesome, our dual token structure, combining benefits for Web2 players, Web3 players. I think it's probably one of our key breakthrough. Not the best one, because of course the game itself is going to be amazing, but there's a massive breakthrough here for our Web3 friends here, because we are creating something unique that will really facilitate the onboarding of our Web2 friends, but we'll dedicate a whole session for this. This must be too early to answer. Will the physical Agent Zero jacket for Agent Zero be a branded product?
We are exploring this. I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no, but we're definitely exploring this opportunity. Especially after NFT Paris, and especially after discussion we had with players like Farfetch and others.
I have almost no doubt that it will be. But so yeah, we're working on it. Something really cool.
Yeah, definitely really cool.
And you have a question about the Agent Zero jackets.
We just
sorry,
another one.
Yeah, one from Excel Rabbit, who is asking, like, if you look at the characteristic, it says that 99% have these traits. Go ahead.
I think it's just a metadata collection error. It should be 100% at this stage, because all the ASAG that were released are the same right now. But it might not be always the case in the future. Hashtag teasing.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Okay. But actually, because I saw someone saying, "Hey, can you drop like a can you leak something that hasn't?" I'm sure you have a few things in your backpack, Vince. Maybe on the jacket. On the jacket, I think.
On the jacket. Well, on the jacket, yes, we are looking at the opportunity for you guys to decide what type of color combination your jacket will get in the future, with a slightly twist from just, picking a color on a color set out of Photoshop. So more to come soon. But this is gonna be quite fun.
You should work with Netflix for the cliffhanger parts, Vincent. You're a terrible person.
I think there's so many things that will be revealed soon. We're working on many fronts, but we want also to make sure that we properly involve you in this, and that we make our announcements as sound as possible to not mislead in any case. We've learned our lessons, we've listened to you, and so now we want to make sure that we communicate ahead of time, not just last minute, so you can get prepared, you can make your feedback and suggestions so that we can adapt eventually. Can we know about Mocaverse, the benefits for the Life Beyond community, any chance to get win a Metaverse NFT for the community? So the benefits for the Life Beyond community, actually, it's not yet decided. So to be fully transparent, this is an ongoing discussion that we have with the Mocaverse team. They've been extremely busy the past 3 weeks. I don't know if you followed, but they had to change their mint date, upgrade their contract following the the war of the royalty topic, around the royalty topics. So it's been a little, they've been a little bit, you know, distracted or focused on this. So we're going to resume, but there's going to be definitely a lot of utility for the Life Beyond community within Mocaverse. And also we're trying to bridge the other way around as well, with making sure that the Mocaverse community as a whole is welcome in Life Beyond. Any chance to getting or winning a Mocaverse NFT for the community? I think we already did one thing, right, Ben?
Yeah.
We did one thing.
Yeah, I mean, we had a Twitter contest, and of course, like I know the demand is crazy, and they read you. We speak a lot with the Mocaverse team all the time. I'm a big ambassador as well, and so excited about what it represents. So we're gonna make sure to promote as much as we can to give you the best access.
And for sure, if we have any spare, you'll be the first to know.
Yeah. You can also apply to Dell. You can also apply to Dellwise, guys.
Yes.
Apply at Dellwise, and
we are hiring. I think if you don't have any more questions, guys, and in any case, we are on Discord. Like, you can find us if you have questions coming afterwards.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll have a last word for everyone, Benjamin.
Well, I mean, I'm a little bit exhausted because it was intense, but so rewarding. You know, all the work that we put. It's amazing to get the chance to share it with you like that, and to build with you close to us. And it's already something that we were happy to do when we were at the very beginning of Life Beyond, when we already wanted to be a little bit ahead of the tradition in developing online games, but it's even much better, you know, when we entered the Web3 world, and now that everybody became a real stakeholder, a real contributor. So thank you so much for your time, for the interest and the passion that you guys are all putting. In a way, it's the best reward we can get. So thank you for this. Remember, you're a member of this project as much as us. So we need your help. We need your participation. Help us to grow. Help us help us to make better decisions. And I look forward to the next opportunity to chat.
Thank you all.
Thank you.